Welcome to this lesson on Ethereum accounts. In Ethereum, accounts are fundamental to how the entire network operates. Today, we'll explore the two types of accounts that exist in Ethereum: externally owned accounts, commonly known as EOA, and contract accounts. Understanding these account types is essential for anyone looking to work with or understand the Ethereum blockchain. Let's dive in and see what makes each type unique and how they work together in the Ethereum ecosystem. Ethereum has exactly two types of accounts. The first type is called an externally owned account, abbreviated as EOA. The second type is called a contract account, abbreviated as CA. Both types of accounts can hold and transfer Ether, which is Ethereum's native cryptocurrency. However, they function very differently from each other. Each type serves a specific purpose in the network, and understanding their differences is key to understanding how Ethereum works. Let's start with externally owned accounts. An EOA is controlled by private keys. Think of a private key as a secret password that only you know. These accounts are used by humans to interact with the Ethereum network. When you create a wallet using applications like MetaMask or a hardware wallet like Ledger, you're actually creating an EOA. The term externally owned means that the account is controlled by someone or something outside of the blockchain itself, specifically by whoever holds the private key. EOAs have four main characteristics. First, they have a private key that the owner uses to sign and authorize transactions. Second, they can hold an ETH balance, meaning you can store Ether in these accounts. Third, they can send transactions to other accounts or smart contracts on the network. In fact, every transaction on Ethereum must originate from an EOA. Fourth, and importantly, EOAs cannot execute code. They are simply user-controlled accounts without any programming logic. Now let's look at contract accounts. Unlike EOAs, contract accounts are controlled by smart contract code, not by private keys. A smart contract is a program that runs on the Ethereum blockchain. When developers deploy a smart contract to Ethereum, it creates a contract account at a specific address. This account contains executable code that defines how the contract behaves. Contract accounts operate automatically according to their programmed logic and can only be triggered by receiving transactions from EOAs or other smart contracts. Contract accounts also have four key characteristics. First, they have no private key because they're not controlled by any person or external entity. Instead, the code itself determines what the contract can do. Second, like EOAs, they can hold an ETH balance and store Ether. Third, they contain executable code, which is the smart contract logic that defines the contract's behavior. Fourth, they are triggered by transactions, meaning they cannot act on their own. They only execute when an EOA or another contract sends a transaction to them. Let's compare the key differences between these two account types. EOAs are human-controlled through private keys, while contract accounts are code-controlled through smart contract logic. EOAs have private keys for signing transactions, but contract accounts have no private keys at all. EOAs can initiate transactions on their own, whereas contract accounts can only react to incoming transactions. Finally, creating an EOA is completely free, but deploying a contract account costs gas because you're storing code on the blockchain. To summarize, EOAs are user wallets controlled by private keys. They're what people use to interact with Ethereum, send Ether, and trigger smart contracts. Contract accounts, on the other hand, are smart contracts with executable code that perform automated functions on the blockchain. Both account types work together to power the Ethereum ecosystem. EOAs provide the human interface and initiate actions, while contract accounts execute complex programmable logic. Together, they enable the decentralized applications and financial systems that make Ethereum so powerful.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.